Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up the Gunyah Tarp configuration, and I'll be aiming to answer that all-important question: is the Gunyah the GOAT of tarp configurations? First, I'll walk you through the setup. Then when we've done that, I'll talk you through the situations where you might want to consider this as your setup and situations where you maybe don't want to consider this as your setup. So what are you going to need? I'm going to use a standard 3x3 or 10 foot by 10 foot tarp. You'll also need sticks, between 2 to 4, maybe even 5 sticks, depending on where the trees are around for you. I'm going to use these 2 trekking poles to make it easier. So next thing I'm going to do, get the tarp out of the bag and lay it out on the ground. Now it's important that the tarp is laid out on the ground upside down, as we shall see. And we're going to peg out 1, 2, 3 corners. So let's get those pegged out. So this section here is going to be our ground sheet. We're now going to take the whole tarp and fold it over. And we're going to take this corner and we're going to peg this out about 1 foot in and 6 inches down. Now we need our first pole to attach the paracord to the top of the trekking pole. I'm going to use a constrictor knot. So with this, we do 1 loop, a second loop, and then the second loop goes behind that loop, and this is going to form a constrictor knot which I can slip straight over the trekking pole. Put that over the object, and that is going to tighten down. We go 2 hoops in, 1, 2, and then we're going to take this, pop this over here, and this is going to be the start, and you can see it's starting to take shape of the set. This I'll run down and stake out. When it's all done, you'll also want to adjust probably some of the pegs as well, just to make sure everything's completely sharp. So we go 1, 2 in, 1 out. Taut line or guy line hitch. And now that is adjustable, so I can add tension to the line. So my gunyah is nearly up. There are still some choices I have. This flat, in bad weather, you can tie out. You could give it an angle like this, or you could raise it up, give it an angle like this to give you a wider field of view. In this case, with good weather, I can chuck it out of the back. And then we're going to do something at the back to give us a little bit more room here. So what we need to look at here is how do we pull these sections out. Now I already have a hank of paracord here, so I can pass that through there, pull this out, and tie this off to a tree if it reaches. So let's talk about this tarp configuration. I'll tell you what I like. First of all, there's a lot of space. There's plenty of space here. I can store my bags and stuff here, my kit around here, and there's a very good level of coverage. With a lot of tarp configurations that include a ground sheet, the actual tarp above your head doesn't extend beyond the ground sheet. So if the rain is coming down at an angle, it can land on your ground sheet and you can get you wet. There's also plenty of space here for me to have a really good field of view out across the forest or the environment that I'm in. I could maybe have a little fire here and it would be fine. The coverage is very good for the size, but we have a question here. How much ground sheet, usable ground sheet, have we actually got? Do I have enough space? So there you go, what do you think? There's a few inches of the sleeping pad that would be touching the ground. These are not areas you're going to put weight on. You've got head probably this end, you've got feet probably this end. Feet are light, heads are heavy, head is covered. It looks like it's kind of okay. The other problem is I've had to push this all the way back. So now you're very, very close to this. It's not going to dangle in your face, but the condensation is going to be a problem. Really, it needs to be in a bit. Maybe this is okay, like this, with a little few inches coming off. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the downsides. This isn't a perfect tarp setup, or to be more accurate, there are certain situations it's not suited and some situations where it is suited. So let's take a look at those. The headroom is pretty good, but once you're sitting on a sleeping pad and it's pushed a bit further back because you want to make sure it's on the ground sheet, you're going to run out of space. Secondly, there's no ridge line, so you can't put a bug net up in here. And this is another problem with this setup. It requires quite a lot of sticks. I got away with 2 sticks here. I could easily have needed 4 or even 5 sticks in order to get this set up. You need one pushed out the back. I might want one over here to push this out to. It depends on what your setup is. Then we've got wind. So if the wind is coming from this direction or a single direction, then you're going to be fine. If the wind is gusty or squally or it's moving around and you're not sure where it's going to come from, you've got no protection from here. So as with everything, with these tarps, you need to know the configurations, you need to set them up, you need to play with them, and you need to try them, but you need to be aware of which situations they work well and which situations they don't work well. I'm really interested to know if you've used this tarp configuration, or if you've got another one that you think might be better that has that pre-existing ground sheet. So that's the Gunyah Tarp setup. Simple, solid, and a pretty good configuration. If you're after a lightweight shelter setup with fast setup, this is definitely worth a look. If you need that enclosed bug protection, you might want to take something else, especially if you're camping in the summer. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give me a thumbs up because it really helps the channel. And if you want to get more gear or mini adventures, please drop me a subscribe. See you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.